Hi guys, Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. In this episode I'm going to teach you how to build a squad from scratch. Now it's very important when playing Football Manager that you try and set your team up for the long haul basically. So in this episode I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. Okay, so the first step, you've just taken over a football team. The first thing that you need to do is just to have a look through your squad and just make sure that you've got cover for every single position. You can go through all the positions, and what I'd recommend to do for that is to just show filters and just literally go through every single position and just making sure that you've got sufficient enough cover for every single position. Now, it's a really good idea when you're a bit of a bigger club, or any club really, is just to have a couple of players for each position that needs to be occupied on the field of play. So yeah, just go through your squad like this and just make sure that you've got enough positions filled and enough players to cover every single position. My second tip for building a squad for the long haul is to go through your under 21 squad and your under 18 squad. Any player that's got really good potential, just put them straight into your first team. Now, what I would sort of advise here, so say this guy, Ashaya Brown, what I would do, you just make him available for your under 21 teams or your under 18 squads. So this really just keeps them in your mind for one, so you can maybe keep them, give these players an opportunity to sit on the bench, like Jada Silva here. This guy's 16 years old, but he's on the Chelsea bench, and one, he's kind of in my mind basically, and I won't kind of forget about these players. Secondly, they're training with the the senior squads, so they're going to be developing a lot quicker. And thirdly, they are going to be still playing their football for the under 21s, so long as you make them available for the under 21s. So their match fitness shouldn't drop too much. You can see here this guy's match fitness is at 99%. And if I take a real quick look at his attributes, you can see how much this guy's been improving just by being involved in the first team squads, just training with the first team squad. I've put him on a kind of training schedule that's really suited to him, and you can see just how well this guy's developing. So that's my second tip. My third tip is to just go through your squad and just make sure that all of your young players are being tutored. Now, like I just mentioned, it's really good idea to have all your better sort of youth players in the senior squad. So say John Terry, what you need to do, you can set up custom filters like this. So basically what you want to be able to see is their media handling, their personality and determination. This is a really good kind of setup I've got here. And what I'll basically do, so all the kind of more senior players that have got really good determination and personality, what you can do is just go through and click on development, then go to training, and just what you would see here is a list of all the kind of youth players that they can tutor. Now you'll see I've already got John Terry tutoring Todd Kane. He's one of our youth players, and you can see as a result of that his personality is now resolute. If I take a look at this, you can see here that his determination is, it started off at quite a good level, but it is going up slowly. So what you need to be making sure of is just to make sure that all your players that are old enough to tutor the younger players, that they are certainly tutoring all the younger players in your team. Just as a little side note, what I'd say when you are building your squad, any player that you sign over the age of 23, just ensure that they have got a really good personality, and then you've got ready-made tutors for your younger players. So on to the fourth tip. Now, what we've had a look at so far in this video, you've sorted out your squad, make sure you've got cover for every position, you've made sure that you're getting your tutors going and things like that. Now you want to have a look at your squad and just make sure that any young players or players that are not going to be playing in your team, you either get rid of them or send them on loan. So you can see here, obviously managing Chelsea, they've got an absolutely massive squad, and all these players are on loan at other teams. So these players are not going to be playing first team football for my Chelsea team at the moment, but certainly I could just keep an eye on them, and if they do perform well, when they do come back from loan, they've got more of a better chance to getting into my Chelsea first team. Now, like I showed you guys earlier, there are some real young players in this team, so I've kept a real handful of kind of decent young players that I'm just looking to tutor, put them on a really good training schedule, and just kind of keep an eye on them more. So yeah, that's my fourth tip for squad building. Keep young players that you want to kind of tutor and develop in your first team, and any other players that are not going to be playing in your first team, just get rid of them or send them on loan, and that will make sure that you're keeping your squad really efficient, and also keeping your wages down. Okay, so the fifth and final tip, so we've got our young players and we're giving them a really good chance to get into the first team here. We're getting all the players tutored, we've cleared out all the dead wood, or we're loaning out all of our young players. The fifth and final thing that you need to do, any young players that you do bring into the squad, you need to be thinking about who they're going to be replacing in the future. Now, Chelsea have done quite a good job in recent years of kind of, you know, making their squad a little bit younger, but certainly we've got players like John Terry, really good player for Chelsea, but obviously we do need to think about who is going to be replacing John Terry. So what we can start to do here, say this guy Andreas Christensen, so you'll notice that I've started playing him in quite a number of games, just kind of like cup games, the odd league game and things like this, and you can see here that as a result of that he has been improving quite a bit. So it's really important that you kind of think long term, and you know, if you have got a player whose contract is going to be expiring, or if a player's kind of coming to the end of his career, that you have got players in the back of your mind where you can kind of bring them through to replace these players. Now, you don't want to be spending a fortune on kind of finding a replacement for John Terry, so it's a really good idea, and you need to be very organised, you know, kind of quite early doors, maybe sort of 2-3 seasons ahead. So when John Terry, if he retires maybe next season or the season after, this guy Christensen will be about 20 years old, so he'll be quite prime, you know, position to move into John Terry's sort of place on the pitch, basically. But also, I mean, for Chelsea, just as an example, we do also have, Kurt Zouma. So you'll see with Kurt Zouma, this is the guy that I'm really looking to sort of replace John Terry in the long term. So you can see the amount of game time that I've been given in. And yeah, he's injured at the moment, but he's certainly been improving quite a bit, which is good for us. So yeah, just make sure that you're kind of very much well prepared, and yeah, you've got ready-made replacements for all of your players that might be leaving the club. So that's the end of our video. If you have any comments on this, guys, I'd really like to hear your comments, so if you could post them below on YouTube. You may have seen the subscribe button right through this video as well. I'd really like it if you could hit that subscribe button, guys. There's many more videos to come, and of course hit that like button, and yeah, we'll be back very soon for some more videos.